Hi everyone, welcome. This is the lyric and visual breakdown of On You, the video that I made almost a month ago. Put it up. Well, I mean, I've been making it for a while, but I put it up a month ago. About it says right there, October 4th. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of views, but that's okay. It's fine. It's my first. Technically not my first, but my first original video, so it's all good. But anyway, today we're gonna go through the lyrics and the visuals, and as far as we're gonna break down what they mean, the meanings of these things. Not so much how I did the visuals. I mean, I can go into that a little bit, but it's more about visual meanings and stuff like that. But before that, like and subscribe. Really helps. It helps out. I'm growing. I just got a new subscriber today. I was so hyped. I was like, oh yay. And I said once I get to 100 subscribers, I know it's not a lot. I know I'm a little guy, but I just started like 3 months ago, so we're gonna do. Anyway, once you get to 100, then I'll let everybody see the number. You can see it under the skirt. Anyway, let's get to the thing, right? So I'm gonna be playing and stopping along and all that stuff. And we'll do the lyrics first, because I feel there's less, well, I mean, I guess they're both, but I think it's easier for me to explain the lyrics before going into the visuals, because it's a long story about the visuals as far as how I had to do them. But anyway, let's go. This sound's just going to be ancillary. If you want to watch the music video, then you can go, I'll put the link in the description, so you can check that out. So you won't be able to hear it too good on this, but it's all good though. And if you notice, before I go on, in that beginning sequence, not musically, but vocally, I'm doing like a you behind, and it's like kind of matched up with the rhythm, so it's in there. In blue. Such a waste, my case is difficult to chew. Pine that keeps on facing, amazing how we do. So let's be clear. Yeah, alright, so that is the hook, basically. And so I have the lyrics right here. So first line is, my reflection is inaccurate, complexion often blue. Meaning, my reflection is like what people see isn't true to what the truth is. And it's not okay. First, let me back it up a little bit. I wrote this song as a piece of fiction, basically. So it was kind of incubated in my mind from the things I liked from certain movies from the past. Specifically, a movie called Identity with John Cusack and a whole bunch of other people. And it's basically about these, I don't know, just like 9 of them, 7, I forget how many people they were, and they were all trapped in this motel at night, and it's all stormy, and it's all like, and then there's like murders happening and stuff, and it's like a murder mystery, but in actuality, it is all happening inside of the mind of a criminal dude, a crazy person, basically. He's obviously, yes, he's crazy, but he has multiple personality disorder, right? And he's a murderer, basically. Well, he has multiple personalities within himself, right? And in the real world, he's in like the back of a cop car in here taking him somewhere. I forgot what. I think maybe he's getting released. I can't actually remember what happens to him at the end, but within his mind, which is happening at the hotel, everybody's dying, people trying to figure it out, and there's this one little kid there that's like, oh, it's a little kid. It represents the child in all of us. Turns out the kid is the guy, just the one that's killing it. The kid is the crazy murderer person. And the kid survives at the end. The kid kills all the other personalities, and only he survives. And it's so, I was like, you know what? That was good right there. That was real good. So I had that in my mind. I was like, multiple personality, yeah, that could be a good kind of starting point, because that way you can write about anything, because you're saying, oh, there's a happy person, a sad person, da 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 da. And this is more of a horror slant. So I wrote this more than a year ago, and I was supposed to have it done last October 2020, but it didn't happen because the video was just like, and I ended up going back and like redoing every scene basically. So anyway, that's where the kind of the spark of inspiration came from to approach writing this song. So all the stuff is not like biographical or anything, autobiographical. It's just me thinking of, okay, there's these characters, these voices, these personalities in a mind. You know, where are we going, basically? So the setup is a multiple personality brain, and it's kind of an unreliable narrator, but it's not really unreliable because of the fact that it's a multiple person. You get it? So it's like, oh, okay, it's not unreliable, but you don't know where it's coming from. So that was the start of that. So my reflection is inaccurate, complexion often blue, which is, you know, it's kind of straightforward. The space is such a waste, my case is difficult to chew. Referencing the multiple personalities. My mind, it keeps on phasing. Once again, it's amazing how we do. So let's be clear and focus all on you. So that's basically the narrator speaking to a third party, whether it's a doctor, psychoanalytical person, or a date or something like that. You know. So let's keep going. Okay, so I've got questions for you, intellect. I'm wondering if you have time for us to conversate to late a date for two. So this first verse is I consider there basically 2 or 3 personalities within the song. I mean, I was thinking about more, but maybe I'll do a part 2, but I'm not sure right now. So this first verse represents the sincere psychopath or sincere serial killer. Okay, so, and the second one will represent something else, but a different personality. But the first one is the sincere psychopath, basically. I mean, serial killer maybe, but it's more of a psychopath. And so I've got a question for your intellect. I'm wondering if that could be to a doctor or just to anybody. Time for us to conversate to later date. 2, that means, oh yeah, maybe we can go on a date, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, and then tightening at times I find my mind a little askew. I'm tightening the binds, a kind of mental brittle stew, right? So those next 2 lines were definitely inspired by Tony D and Rocco, Cropsy's Hideout, definitely. I was writing that, I was like, that is not in one of your songs, and he was like, you got it. I was like, okay, but I wasn't sure. So and we tried to find it, and we couldn't find it. I was like, whatever, it's all right. But I put it in there. I left it in there. But I'm frightening at times. I find my mind a little askew. That's pretty straightforward. It's basically just kind of it's the sincere psychopath. It's like, yo, I'm not trying to get over on you. This is how it is. You know, I'm tightening the binds, a kind of mental brittle stew. That's the psychopath in him. That's the little bit of okay, this is crazy serial psycho. You know. Let's keep going. And you to accommodate my ego, meet at the venue and send you on the D-Lo. Eviscerate, mindful state till you're feeling free, so you can't come with, never survive where we go. And he'll come back. Okay, so why do you accommodate? So why do you continue to accommodate my ego? Meet up at the venue, send you on D-Lo. That's more of. It's kind of switching. It's kind of like switching, not minds, but scenarios. Like, so you can say, oh, this person, they've been in a relationship for a while, you know, and that's where that goes. Or it's just the first time, and it's so why do you accommodate this fool? You know what I mean? So it's kind of a weird line, but I liked it. So I was like, I put that in there. We meet up at the venue, send you on the D-Lo. That's not a good line. I'll be real. I was like, D-Lo, does the generation know what that means? Does the new generation know what D-Lo mean? I don't think they do. Maybe they do. I don't even know if I spelled it right. Doesn't matter. Eviscerate your mindful state until you're feeling free, so you can't go with, survive where we go. So it's basically like, it's kind of like not mental abuse, but kind of sort of. It's like I'm telling you that if you come with us, you can't, because our minds are twisted and demented. So if you come, your mind's gonna get twisted and demented. So I'm just letting you know, the sincere psychopath, that's what's up, you know. And that's kind of what that was. Then the hook comes back. Okay, we're gonna bring that back. And it's same lyrics, just a little bit more melodies, harmonies. All right, so why is it so simple for reality to shimmer? Lightning, stars are far and dimming from the inner. Okay, so why is this so simple for reality to shimmer? The lightning from the stars are far and dimming from the inner. So basically what that represents is kind of the facade of a lot of media / social media. You know, you look at all these stars of famous people or beautiful people, whatever. Instagram filters, all that stuff, right? So why is this so simple for reality to shimmer, right? So you're putting this glossy film over reality when reality really, you know. But, you know, that's just a kind of a comment on superficiality, I guess. The lightning from the stars are far and dimming from the inner. So it's basically the shimmers on the outside, but the inside, you know, the spark of the souls or whatever you want to, of the inside persons, it's not there. You know what I mean? That's basically an easier way to say that line. I just need stuff to rhyme. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's keep going. Winner, it is you, and you are only a beginner. So let's discuss the nuances of what you want for dinner. All right. So a winner is you, and you are only a beginner. That is a video game line from Pro Wrestling, I believe it is, from the NES. A winner is you, right? I think that is. When you beat the game, it says a winner is you. And it's a joke among video game people who are old like me, Gen Xers. So that's why I threw that in there. But it also lends to the whole scenario of this verse is basically the charismatic cannibal. Was it charismatic? Yeah, charismatic cannibal. So that's where there's so let's discuss the nuances of what you want for dinner. So that's kind of like, it's like on its face, like, oh, we're going for dinner, what do you want for dinner? Or, you know, dinner can represent, you know, life, or we're going to go into a relationship, what do you want for dinner, which is it's a whole bunch of things. And the way I wrote it is so that people can construe it however they wish. You know, it's not for me to say what you take away from it. It's just, I'm telling you how I wrote it and how I left it open so that you can interpretize it how you wish. So me saying certain things about each line is just how it happened. And sometimes I wrote a line and I'm like, oh, you know, I just wrote a line real quick. Because when I'm writing, I'm just writing mainly to rhyme, but to make sense too. And sometimes it takes on a double entendre without me trying to do it in that way. So, okay. So let's discuss one. The type physique I peak is really just the primer of all ingredients I sent to marinate the liner. So a slimmer type physique I peak is really just the primer of all ingredients I sent to marinate the liner. So now that is more on the cannibal side right there. That's like the cannibals coming out, is giving you a little flavor. The cannibal right there, get it? Flavor. And yeah, remember, this is all fictionized. I'm not a cannibal. I eat lettuce. Eggs. Anyway, but yeah, so that's just his cannibalistic coming out. A slimmer type physique I peak is really just the primer, you know, for the to marinate the liner. it's kind of straightforward, pretty much. Of all ingredients I sent to marinate the liner. Jar is perfect and I work it into finer. Hurry up. So the temperature is perfect and I work it into finer proportions. Let me hurry up the timer. So those two lines are, I mean, they're like cooking basically. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in the oven like Hansel and Gretel, yo. But also, for the filthy, for the sucio, for the sucio cara, for the sucio minded, I think a lot of people who are freaky deeks will always take everything in a sexual connotation. So that can be construed, or I'll say construed, as sexy time. Temperature is perfect, and I'll work it into finer proportions. Let me hurry up the timer, meaning I'm gonna hurry it up and get you. See what I'm saying? Look, I just write it. I don't make you think anything. You could take it how you want to. When I wrote that, I was like, I'm really writing it because he's gonna cook the person, but I know people are gonna wanna be like, oh boy, it's the Noki Noke time. The Noki Noke? I don't know what that is. Yep, I messed it up. I pressed the wrong buttons. So another hook, and then the rap part comes up, which is cool. And I like the rap part. I mean, it's pretty. You starting to start descending apart the darkest region, split in your heart. The car is bleeding, giving a spark to all the demons. This is just art. Relax a bit. Your mind will drive. I'm trying to quit. You thinking you slide? Cause I legit when taking my time. And tears and taste the end of my mind. And then the hook comes in again. So it's I don't think this rap part isn't really anything deep or special or anything. I think it's just, are you ready to start descending apart the darkest region, splitting your heart? It's all pretty straightforward. There's no kind of hidden meanings or anything, except for the last couple of lines. So the cart is bleeding, giving a spark to all the demons. This is just art. So my mind was just like kind of like a hellscape, and there's for some reason like mine carts in hell. Don't ask me why. Okay, that's just how my brain went. And so the cart was sparking, bleeding sparks. I don't know. Relax a bit. Your mind will drive. You're trying to quit. You thinking you're sly. Because I legit am taking my time. The tears are tasty. And they're all mine. So that last line, the tears are tasty and they're all mine, used to be your tears are tasty and they're all mine. But I changed it to the tears, because saying your tears meant that the narrator would be the bad guy. Now, probably still is, but I wanted it to be a little bit less pointed and just like the tears. It could be my tears, it could be your tears, it's just the tears. And that way it's easier to digest. And it's more of an open not an open interpretation, but it's an open invitation for different interpretations. Going back a little bit, to all the demons, this is just art. That to all the demons represents the demons. I would say the demons within everyone, but also it represents the people who like to demonize art, or demonize things, or demonize, like this song isn't really, it's a fictional song, but somebody might get offended. Oh, you talking about eating people, and you talking about this and that. Oh, how dare you going to hell. Holy water on me. Holy just throwing, like, what is this, Kool-Aid? What are you doing? I'm just saying, that's what that's for. And it's not even just for people who demonize art. It's for people who are just toxic and vitriolic, and there's just gonna be like blah blah blah, oh, Xbox sucks, oh, PlayStation sucks, oh, Nintendo's, just all the things. So that was a general statement, and the demons represent just the bad people who just want to be bad. Just not even, it's not a big deal, but it's still got to be a bad person, so whatever. And that's pretty much it for the lyrics. So let's go back, and now we can do the visual part. So this this took me a long time, because it is a one shot that is about 33 seconds or so, I think. And I didn't do any trickery. This is all one shot from the water to through the mountains and that's all one shot. Now what had happened was, let me go back. I had originally done a different version of this, the first version I did, and it wasn't that good. I mean, I kept the camera movement. That's the one thing I kept was the camera movement. The camera movement was the original camera movement from the original take of this. But I redid the water. I redid the whole city. I added the super yacht right there, and then there's another little that's the Grasser ship, and that's the super little super yacht, and he flying through. I added all little cars and little boats and stuff, and it goes by so fast that you can't see any of it. There's a okay. You go. Wait, let me go back here. So where's the super yacht? Super yacht's there. There's the super yacht. Well, that's not the super yacht. Well, yes, that is the super yacht. The other one's the cruise ship. So the super. I know what I wanted to do. I pressed the wrong button. So boom, the Grasser ship actually lands, but you don't see it. So here's a car comes by, zoop. There's another like bus thing comes by. There's a little container ship. There's traffic that you zoom under. Then you go under the subway. There's a little monorail thing happening there, and then there's actual people inside. You don't see any of this because it goes by so fast. There's people. There's another train in there, and it's all motion blur too. And then you go, there's a car that comes by, gonna go in there for the landing. There's all these cars on the bottom here. They're parked at the hotels or whatever that is, apartment. And this is zone 8. I was gonna call it section 8, but I was like, that's too close. So I was thinking about District 9. And I was like, District 8? So I was like, no, I'll just call it zone 8. So I put zone 8 right there, zoom. You go through the little electrified wired, the laser fences so the poor people can't get to the rich part of town, you know what I mean? And then it goes zoom, you go through the slums. Not a lot of lights on because they ain't got no power, you know what I mean? And they got little fishing boats chilling in the canal. They're gonna get their grublets on, you know what I mean? Zip, zoop, zoop. But then you pass that, and then you're into the caves and the desert and the evil guy. I call him the evil man because I didn't have a name for him. So the guy that I play with the blue shirt guy, he's the evil man, right? And then the other person, which the white mask, which I have over there, he is called the Plague Butler. You know, as the Plague Doctor this is the Plague Butler, basically because of the mask, and he's the butler. So there you go. And so this was a different. So at the beginning, this shot was just a plain empty wall, no cutouts, no art, no face on the thing, no super lights, no art, no couches, nothing. It just had the floor and the blue walls, and all of this was like plain too. So I went back and I added all that stuff in because it was just I needed it more. And it turned out pretty good. I'm not 100% satisfied with it, and that's the curse of the artist. And also, I don't know if you caught that, but go back a little bit. Just shout out to Super Wellbone, Al B. But there's actually I freaking wait back there. That's where the table is. But there's a fish tank here, and there is a whale shark, a little baby whale shark right there. And I built it and I animated it, and it was so not good looking that I was like, it can't get too close to the camera because it's like, yeah, nah, B, that don't look good. No, don't do it. So, but you can see the tail. Watch the tail. Here comes. Boop. Like for a second, you can see a little animation. I was like, oh, let me go back. So, going, from the lyrics with the courteous cannibal. Courteous cannibal. I said charismatic, but I think I had courteous. I think I said courteous. I think I had courteous in my mind, but I said charismatic, but it's both. So this is the preheating of the oven. Originally, I was going to have the face in here cooking, but A, I ran out of time, and B, I didn't want to give away too much in the beginning. So this is kind of just like, oh, what is that supposed to be? It's the oven pre-cooking, and the plate is clear. Corningware, baby. So yeah. And so this first scene here is kind of a digital library. So, the evil man is standing there looking out at the sunset. The digital library is there. That's the little AI dude who doesn't have a name. I need to name this guy because he's going to be in my next video, which is coming out in about a week or so. I have to work on it some more. Actually, I haven't even finished the song yet, but it's pretty much 80%. I would say both are 80%. The song is 80%, The song's probably more than 80%, but the video is 80%, probably. But I need to name this guy. So if you guys have any suggestions, not what Bridget said with the Robbie the robot, like no, okay, of course not. What's wrong with you? But I like him, and he's built, so I want to use him in my newer video. Although that shot, let me go back. There were some shots that were broken, and I fixed one. I didn't fix this one, and I thought I did fix this one. You can see there's a lot of like distortion in the mesh and stuff, and I was like, what is going on? And what it was the camera. There's a cutoff for the field of view for the camera, so it starts at like I think 0.01 or something centimeters or millimeters, I can't remember, to whatever you set. I mean, you can set it to wherever the cutoff is. And if you have the cutoff all the way to the lowest number, it does that. So I had to bump it up a little bit, and it fixed all of that, because that's not how the actual model looked. It doesn't look like that. So it was something in the camera setting, and I guess I didn't fix it on this one. I fixed it on another scene, but I didn't fix it on that one. I was mad too. But this, I kind of like. I like this character. Once again, he's cute. Look at it. Look at that cute guy. Don't you want that in your house? You know how Amazon's like, oh, they're gonna have drones flying around. Wouldn't you be all right if he looked like that? That'd be dope. I wouldn't mind. I'll call him. I was gonna call him Sphery, but that's dumb. Anyway, I needed. My inspiration for this guy was remember those little robots? Was it Osmo, I think it was called, or something? It was like a little tank. He had tank treads, and he had like and he picked up cubes, and he had a little face on it. I was like, oh, I mean, they went out of business, but it was kind of like a cool little like robot thing. And I was like, oh, it's so cute. So that was kind of just as far as like the display, and also like what could I do that wasn't too hard to do, that I could animate easily and implement easily. And so basically how I did it was, I built the model, and this is just this is basically a movie. Well, it's a PNG, but it's, I animated it with, I forgot how I animated. I mean, I animated it in Blender, and then I used that movie and put it on, as an image as a plane, but a movie basically. So that's how you do that stuff. I mean, that's how I did all the, there he is. There's the Plague Butler, first shot of him. And if you notice, the keen-eyed of yous out there who've noticed or would notice, all of these statues that are in the backgrounds, and as well as in the first shot, there's some in there. This is all of Homegirl, the robot, the white robot, except I changed it black. And this is the first version of her before I gave her panels and stuff. This was the smooth version of her. She doesn't have a name. She's Robo Lady. That's what I named her. But these are the same. It's the same exact model, except I made it black. And this right here was a little bit tricky, because for some reason, I don't know why it is, in Blender, you can do a plane as, image as a plane, right? You could do one image as a plane, and then you do, and then what you have to do, you can't do two, because if you do another one, it'll override the first one, and then you'll have two of the same. So what I did was I was like, okay, why is this happening? I don't know why it's happening, so let me fix it. So a lot of this video was figuring out how to fix stuff that broke. Basically, that's everything, right? But so what I had to do was just put up a plane, and then put a movie on the plane, and then adjust it. And it was like it was more manual work, but I know how to do it, so it wasn't a big deal. But in order to get two different green screen elements, so that's all green screen, obviously. In order to get two green screen elements on top of each other, crossing and all that stuff within the environment, I had to do that. And also, before I go, one last thing. My green screening was very bad. I had to do a lot of editing on this plane, and I figured out a way to do it so that like I had some black spots and stuff from the composite wasn't great. And so this is like two different pieces right here. Him up here and here, and you can tell the legs are a little shorter. And I kind of wanted it to carry through, but it was too much work to make him like a weird, shorter on the top and longer on the top, shorter on the bottom. So I just did it for this shot, and actually another shot too. But So I cut it because the top was fine, but the bottom wasn't. So I rendered this one out differently. The bottom half out with a higher contrast, because you can't really see any detail anyway. It's just really a silhouette. So I did that and it worked out. I lined it up so it looks like it's all one. Now this part is just a fluid simulation on an object. This was like the last thing I put in the video. I was like, because originally it was all that. It was all this right here. And I changed it and I said, let me get some more interesting angles on this. And that's what I did. And the very end was that. That was color corrected in post and in the edit in DaVinci, not in Blender. So I did that, and I did that to match with that shot. And it happened. That was the very last thing, and it happened like last minute. I was like, okay, I feel okay about that. Now this shot I don't like because I shot it in super slow motion, which is 720p, which sucks. Okay, I shot everything on this camera, this phone, the Samsung Galaxy S51, yeah. And I just didn't realize, and also I added that shot later, but I didn't realize that I could do super slow motion, or I could do a good amount of slow motion, probably up to 50% before it actually breaks within DaVinci with 4K footage with no problem. I learned that after I did this, but I liked this shot so much that I was like, you know what, forget it, I'm gonna just leave it. And once again, I added her changes later, and the background was all plain. I had the extra models, all the detailing on her. Yeah, it was a lot. And you can see she has no toes, so we're gonna do. This scene was one of the ones I didn't even change that one, or this one. This was another original, and you can tell it has a little bit less stuff in it, and I think that's one of the things that that I would have liked to change, is just add more detail into a lot of shots. And let me go back for a second. That shot was this shot right here was a little tricky because once again, I'm on green screen, right? So I'm sitting down, I got a green blanket in the back, whatever, and I had a piece of cardboard because for some reason Bridget, we had these little cute little TV trays, right? Back in the day, you go TV tray, put your TV down, you know. But we had them, and the person who lived here before us left them, and they were solid wood, like cherry or some nice wood. They were heavy. I was like, yo, these are nice. They weren't no cheap. They were like nice. She gave them away. She donated them. I was like, oh man, I need that little table. I'm shooting a video. Hey, Britt, wait no little table. She like, I'm like, so what I did was I took a big piece of cardboard from, I guess, the TV we bought or whatever, and I put the green blanket on that, and it's on my lap, and I'm just trying not to move because it breaks the illusion. If my hands are moving because the cardboard's moving, then it breaks the illusion because the table's not moving. So, and you can see it's a little bit of movement, but I got away with it. That's me dancing like an idiot. That was a hot little costume. Now that scene this thing right here, this was later as well because I wanted to actually do a 3D model of my face, like photogrammetry and stuff, and actually animate it, but I couldn't do it because I wanted the fluid to react to the face better. But I did a rough kind of modeling so that the nose would protrude out and the lip part would protrude out, so the shape would be kind of sort of what it's supposed to be. So it's not the best, but I had to work with what I had, plus I didn't have enough time to get down into it. And that shot right there, I had to redo it because the original one I had glasses on the dummy, the temporary footage I had, so I changed the model and stuff. Well, I changed the texture. And did the animation. Originally, I was gonna put like a bunch of body parts and stuff in the shelves in the freezer, but I was like, well, nah. I mean, maybe that's overkill. Maybe that would add some extra messaging that I didn't really think was necessary. So I just left it out. And also, it was less time. And that door and the thing about that, right? The door closes. Like I didn't do any rigging as far as armatures or anything. I just, I put the origin point on the hinge. I didn't even model the hinges on this door because I was like, oh, I forgot the hinges. Oh well, forget it. So I just put the origin. Like right here, and I just animated it on the Z. That's all. I just rotated it on the Z. Boom, and it worked. You know, and there's homegirl, Robo Lady. I like how she came out. I want to put her in my newer video that are coming out next week, but I'm not too sure. I really like this shot because of the lighting. The lighting worked, but let me go back a little bit. This thing, okay, if you notice, the camera wasn't level when I shot this, and so I was walking, and I started walking, and I ended up like down here, and I was like, so I had to, in this shot, I had to take everything except the footage because I cut the footage up a little bit and to clean it up, and then I realized, oh no, it's leaning. So I had to lean everything else except for the footage, and so the whole set is like tilted like this, and the footage is straight, but in the footage I'm going down, so I had to compensate. I still go down a little bit. The Plague Butler still ends up going down a little, you can tell right there, but you know. And that last shot I wish was a little bit better, but that's fine. And that's it. That was the whole thing. Yeah, that was the video that I made on you. I wish I had more views, but hopefully it will. I'm not too worried about it. You know, it's my first attempt, but I think my newer video is more action-packed, if you will. If people have photosensitivity, the new video may give you a little bit of ego, but it's only a minute and a half or something like that. It's not a long video, so it's definitely a shorter video than this, but it's more high-paced, if you will. And it's about something that I won't say yet, but yeah, it's pretty cool. But that's it. That's the video. That's what went into it, from my mind to your faces on YouTube, I guess. But yeah, I appreciate you guys showing me love, watching the video, hanging out with me. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Yo, I'm just telling you, if you want to see more things like this, subscribe. Hit the bell, I guess. I don't know. Hit the bell so you know when everything go up. But you know, just do those things. Appreciate it. Till toe wait.